Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Friends You Can Keep podcast. First thing I'm going to start with, because I think we forgot. No, we didn't forget to do this last year. We just did it really late. Because we did forget, and then I remembered. Our Song of the Summer.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know what?
I don't know any current songs.
The Song of the Summer, the Friends You Can Keep official Song of the Summer, is I Just Might.
Oh, yeah. I do know that one.
In reality, if we're being honest, it's the whole album. We bought it on vinyl.
There's some slower songs on there, so we'll pick a more peppy song.
Yeah, specifically, it's that song.
Yeah.
Or what's the second one?
I have no idea.
Because the second one has that sweet slow motion sound sample.
It's not the cha-cha one, right?
Oh, it might be. Is it Cha-Cha-Cha or Cha-Cha-Cha with Me?
I'm not sure.
The romantic.
I don't know this.
Cha-Cha-Cha is the name of the song.
Yeah, okay. I just knew that was a part of the song.
But yeah, a top-notch...
It's a great album.
I mean, we've probably talked about it on this show. I don't know that Bruno Mars ever misses. I've never heard a bad Bruno Mars song.
No, I mean, there's some that I like more than others, but none of that are like, no.
Well, and I would say, specifically Bruno Mars songs.
Oh, sure, he's got a couple.
That are on his albums. Because, there's none that I don't...
There's one that's gross.
There's none that I go out of my way not to listen to, but I don't seek them out. That Apartment song, whatever it's called, if it comes across the radio or whatever,
it's very catchy.
I'll listen to it. I don't turn it off. I didn't care for the song he did with Cardi B.
Is that the dirty one?
No, I forget what that one's called, but I don't really care for Cardi B. Sorry.
I don't think I do either.
No, the one you're thinking of is Fat, Juicy, and Wet.
Yeah, and it wasn't even, I just didn't... I'm not a big, WAP wasn't... I just don't
I'm really
care for
mad. I need to be, and moving forward I will be, I need to be a lot more conscious. While it may not be on the full episode of the show, it will be on our social medias. I need to be a lot more conscious of recording your reactions to things. Because you're never going to laugh more, and I can't... It's one of those things that already happened, you can't recapture the magic. Where you would never have laughed harder than seeing Kelly's reaction to Fat, Juicy, and Wet.
Because you just said, new Bruno Mars. It was
Yeah, on Apple Music, I like Bruno Mars is one of my favorite artists, so I get a notification, new Bruno Mars music, or whatever it was. Or it may have been on Instagram, I forget where I saw it. And I knew from the title, I'm like, nope.
You didn't. I don't even think you said. Obviously,
I didn't tell you the title until after the fact.
Because I would have been able.
Because I saw the title and I'm like, this is not. Nope. This is gonna be gross, and it was.
It was gross. I mean, does he sound great? Absolutely. But I can't. I'm not driving around in my car listening to that.
Well, you were really grossed out too, and I didn't. I mean, I kind of understood, but I like the song. I forget who sings it. That song, Mutt.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
You were really grossed out by it, and I'm like, this song, I fucking love this song.
And it might be one of those songs where, the first time you hear it, you hear the innuendo too much. And I'm like, what are we doing here? I like the subtleties of music. You don't need to just,
Well, see, I think that one is more subtle.
It is.
Mutt is more subtle.
You need to listen to it a couple times, and then you kind of, can settle into it. Fat, Juicy, and Wet, I'm not settling into that.
Well, there's no subtlety.
No.
In Fat, Juicy, and Wet.
No, and,
it's the same as WAP. There's no subtlety in WAP.
It has its audience, and that's great. It's just not me, that's all.
Yeah, there's no subtlety in, is it Dove? In a Dove commercial for...
My neck, my back?
Your neck, your back. Your pussy and your crack.
No, but it's my bits,
I don't remember what the lyrics are.
Bits and my pits. I don't know.
I don't think it's my bits and my pits.
It was
Where's my... Can you reach those sticky notes?
So bad.
Because I also want to be more conscious of writing down possible episode titles, and My Bits and My Pits is definitely a top contender right now.
I don't... It was like it really was like they changed the lyrics. It's so corny.
Well, it's one of those things. That's one of those things of like. There's the joke online of you are officially old when the music you listened to in your youth is now being used for like medication commercials and stuff like that.
Yeah, soap.
But like, that's not a song that should have been used for anything.
And there was another one where I was like, why? Well, there's the Boys to Men. End of the Road, is that the one?
Yes, that's an Old Spice commercial.
Yeah, but it's like moms to their sons. It's really weird.
Well, and I think the point is like
they're growing up, they're men, becoming men.
Now they're teenage boys use Old Spice, so now they're men.
Yeah.
And they don't need their mothers anymore.
Yeah.
So it's moms singing about, because they do.
They changed the words a little bit.
Well, they changed the words to fit Old Spice, but there is a thing. They say, like, although we've come to the end of the road, and then one of them, like, says something.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, they interject a line that is clearly, like...
Yes, to make it more like mom.
And it's a blatant, like... What I forget what the lyric is, or what the sentence is, because it's not even a lyric. Like, it's spoken. And it's very funny to me. Like, that's funnier than the Dove... My neck, my back commercials. Those are gross.
It was just so weird because I started hearing them and I was like, okay, just because songs are now, I don't think it's public domain, but like, just because.
Yeah, they definitely paid for the rights to that song.
Just because artists now are like, yeah, you can use my.
They paid for the rights to that because it was of an era, and now women of that era or of the age.
Where they're buying Dove?
Because
it's the whole body deodorant.
It's for whole body deodorant, yes. You're at an age now where your whole body stinks. And you need whole body deodorant. Yeah. Your bits and your pits stink.
I'm going to look it up because
your pits and your bits both stink.
Something about... I don't know. I was like, oh.
While we don't care for that ad, I will say, Dove, feel free to sponsor us.
Well, we just thought...
We won't say no.
You went a little too far.
We won't say no. She'll say on air that her bits and her pits
smell great with Dove.
Smell great with Dove. They used to stink, and now they smell great with Dove.
The whole body deodorant thing really creeps me out.
Well, they all have it now.
Yeah, well, because of Lumi or whoever it was.
I think Axe, like there's a whole every
Axe always.
Well, no, Axe was body spray. They never advertised themselves as like all over deodorant. Or all over deodorizer. It was just Axe body spray.
Oh, okay.
I think it's implied you can use it over your whole body, but it's Axe body spray.
Okay.
Tag body spray.
Yeah, but like...
What was the other one? Another one of those companies that was like real...
I just know Axe.
We advertised to teens because we have...
And like
we have
smell.
An edgy, extreme name with an X in it.
You could...
Oh, yeah, and all the smells. They definitely had a chocolate one that wasn't... I mean, people complain. Axe was a very, like, jokey, okay, we get it, kind of company. But also, like, some of their smells were not bad.
It smelled good. It was just, like, you could smell someone with Axe body spray from 10 miles away.
I still, to this day, I think there is a can in my parents' basement. And I know there's a can at the beach that I use for body spray, like cologne.
What's his name?
It is Rob Dyrdek's Tag body spray. That can, I know, has been expired for years. It still smells good.
Does it expire?
Yes. It has an expiration date on it. And that probably...
I wonder what expires.
That probably came out...
Do you think it will explode?
In either the early 2010s or the late 2000s is when that probably came out.
Yeah,
because I was still in high school.
I was gonna guess 20. I don't really.
And I graduated in 2011, so it was somewhere in that window when Fantasy Factory was still on TV.
Yeah,
and like that was at the height. Well, Robin Big, that was off the air.
The panel where they would do like ridiculousness.
That didn't start yet.
Okay, so it was in between.
The tag body spray predates Ridiculousness.
Okay.
It was when Fantasy Factory was on TV.
Okay.
Because it was him and two other people.
Yeah.
A basketball player, and I forget who else. And it was like a competition of who can sell more.
Yeah, I think I watched that. I know I watched Robin Big.
I watched both Robin Big and
I
Fantasy
watched
Factory.
Ridiculousness, too.
I didn't watch Ridiculousness because I was a fan of Tosh.0, and I'm like, I don't need a weird PG version of Tosh.0.
I watched it.
I'll just watch Tosh.0.
Yeah. It was, like, just watered down a little bit. I don't think it was, like, PG, but it was definitely...
No, it was definitely PG, and I could not stand Chanel.
Yeah.
Like, you're funny in your little bits that you do on Fantasy Factory, but when you're like a full-blown, you're talking a lot in an episode of TV, no thanks.
Yeah, she wasn't the best. But...
It just wasn't, it was just a pale imitation of Tosh.0. And there were so many shows that were like that at that time that tried to bank off the, tried to ride the success of Tosh.0.
But,
and that one stayed around
it was
a long fucking time,
name?
but...
What was his full... Michael Tosh?
Daniel Tosh.
He was the reason that show was successful.
Yes.
Because, like, he had the redemption thing, which a lot of shows did not include.
Yeah, him and the writing team, like, they had... I mean, he was funny. I still follow him. His podcast is really funny.
He was very dry,
yes.
which I think really helps with a show like that.
I always
Because you're making a lot of, like... poop jokes and falling down, a lot of slapstick style. Mm-hmm. You need somebody who's dry, because otherwise it just comes across as like childish.
When he was so deadpan about it, especially as opposed to Rob, who is like
falling over,
was so animated and like jumping all over the screen, and they had the big screen that he could go over and point to, and like.
I mean, it was
like,
fun.
This is too much.
But, and like, they did use different clips. So it wasn't like if you watched both shows.
Oh, there was definitely overlap, but they highlighted different.
Yeah, they had their own, like, it wasn't like cookie cutter, like, we just use the same. So, sometimes, like, at the time, like, Tosh would get, like, you'd be like, okay, I've watched enough of him. I'll switch over to this one.
No, never. I was a loyalist.
I didn't watch much of either of them, but it would just be like, oh, I'll give this one for today. You're just scrolling on social media?
It was first released in 2005.
The spray?
The Tag body spray.
Wow.
You can buy it currently on eBay for ranging $37.50 to $50.
Well,
out of stock.
Perfume is a weird... Well, I mean, that was, like, body spray. But, like, perfume is a weird thing where people do buy, like, vintage. So, like, this was something I had in high school and they don't make it anymore. People buy it on...
Fragrance Revival. This looks like it's a website where you make your own scent. You decide the fragrance. Smells like the original or it's free. We recreate your discontinued perfume or cologne. $80. You can get a bottle of Make Moves Tag body spray imitation.
Wow.
That's incredible. Oh, God.
That's fun. Is nostalgia worth $80? Maybe.
No.
If you had the 80 extra bucks as a gift, maybe.
Speaking of me being a loyalist when it comes to Daniel Tosh, I am also a loyalist to... I've been watching a lot on Google Free TV, Top Gear, as have you, but I've been watching a lot of it when there's nothing else on. Or I don't feel like
I watch it all the time.
Or I don't feel like looking for something is more what it is. I'll just put on that.
I just don't even bother. Yep.
But my loyalist thing is because when they try to play the episodes that are after Hammond, Clarkson, and May left, I do not watch them.
I don't
want that Matt LeBlanc bullshit. I don't know who hosted it after Matt LeBlanc. I don't want it.
But it's because I'm not... Well, for me, I'm not watching for the cars. I'm watching for the presenters. So I don't want to watch it.
I've turned it on, and they'll be in the middle of a car thing, and I'll be like, this doesn't look right. It has a different look to it. And it'll be a minute or two before they show Matt LeBlanc or whatever, and then I'll go, I don't want this. But I've seen enough of it to know, like, even if I watched it for the cars, this isn't bringing the same thing the other three brought. And like and that show didn't last that much longer after the three of them. And I think it showed like because those three were the show.
Yeah.
As much as they didn't hold the attitude of like, you need us, we don't need you. That is what their attitude should have been, because that show doesn't exist without the three of them.
And it's one of those things where like I wasn't resistant to watch it, because it's one of those things where it was like,
yeah,
whatever. Oh, it's just on. You know, it's like when someone puts sports on, you're like, oh, I'm not into it, but I'll watch it.
Yes.
But they get so excited about cars that you can't, like, it really holds your attention.
Yes.
Even the technical stuff, like, I don't understand half the things they're saying.
Yes.
But now that we've been watching for so long, I do feel like I could not regurgitate that information to someone else.
Yeah.
But when they're talking, I recognize like certain terms like, oh, that relates to this.
They are really good at putting things in both a technical way and then either simultaneously putting it in layman's terms, or they like get really technical and then they say in other words and give you the layman's terms.
Yeah, it seems like it's almost always.
And I think it proves that anyone who can convey a message in both technical speak and in layman speak in any subject, I think it's an entertaining show. Mm-hmm. You could have zero interest in that topic.
Farming.
But if someone can convey the information in that way, and
it's
compelling, it's intriguing.
You can tell that they really like it, which I think is very infectious.
Yes.
Like, and they laugh and joke. Like, there's so much more than just like technical car jargon.
Yeah. All that was to say, I want to try and look it up to show it to you because it was very funny to me. Google, for those of you that aren't aware of this, Google Free TV is similar to Samsung TV or whatever other free TV service
Roku.
comes on your smart TV, Roku TV, where there are ads. And very rarely, very, very, very rarely do you get a real specific ad. A lot of them are for products. A lot of them are just for... Sometimes it's just like, hey, there's this other Google free TV channel. I got an ad the other night while watching Top Gear. That was a whole, like, thank you ad sort of thing. Where it was, and this is not as much a political thing as it is a funny thing to me. The whole ad was how Donald Trump has solved the cigarette problem in America. And people smoking cigarettes. And he's put an end to it. And he's put a stop to the epidemic of cigarette smoking. And how did he do it? Flavored vapes.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And then it shows you like 5 vape pens.
But
I have to see if I can find it.
Weren't we just talking about how like people are going back to cigarettes?
Who are we talking about that with? We did.
Where like kids are like, oh, I'm trying to quit vape, so I'm smoking cigarettes, and it's like
we did have that conversation. I figured who we talked about it with. Where there was a weird study that showed like
people are going
yeah.
And I don't remember if it was the thing of cost.
It was a thing of like people smoked cigarettes.
Yeah, and then vapes came along.
And then vapes came along, and people started vaping to quit smoking cigarettes. And now it is a weird thing where you're like coming back around in the same circle. Where now younger people who were vaping, they ran all these ads about like, oh, you're ingesting metal and blah blah blah. Like, so now kids are like, oh, well, this is really dangerous for me. I'll smoke cigarettes because this is so dangerous for me. And I said, this is why the ads made no sense. I grew up, you grew up, like millennials had a weird, long window of the truth ads that were nothing but how bad cigarettes were for you.
You might as well just put your head in a toilet and flush. That's how much ammonia you inhale.
And now, and then at some point, they stopped making, it was still the truth. They stopped making anti-cigarette commercials and made only anti-vape commercials. And I'm like, this is all well and good. People still smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, like, it's... I think there was a point where it was mostly older people that smoked cigarettes.
Like there was a point where it felt like it was going down. Like younger...
Cigarettes?
Yeah, like younger people...
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, like...
I don't know how much the truth has.
No young people smoke cigarettes. It was only old people, so fuck them. Who cares?
Right.
But, like, there were definitely still young people who smoked cigarettes.
Oh, and yeah.
And even if there weren't, there were still older people who smoked cigarettes where I'm like, I'm not telling you every ad has to still be about cigarettes.
Well, they
but
really...
Like, do every other.
I'm pretty sure the truth ads were geared towards high school students.
I'm sure, but still, like, again, there are high school kids that probably don't have access to vapes that were smoking cigarettes.
What's
like, we
more
don't...
expensive? Or are they kind of...
I think cigarettes? I don't know.
I didn't know, like,
I only ever hear people complain about the cost of cigarettes.
Did vapes go, like, way up?
I don't know. I only ever hear people complain about the cost of cigarettes, so I don't know how much a vape even is.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even... I know...
I'm not aware of, like, any of it.
I know what it looks like. I don't know what you need to refill. I don't know any part of it. And I don't want to. That's fine.
Trump-flavored vapes. I'm looking for the ad. Give me a video.
It's just so odd.
When it was so funny to me of, like...
What do you mean he solved the epidemic of cigarette smoke? You know vapes are still cigarette smoke. It's not secondhand anymore, I guess.
Oh, because the FDA authorized fruit-flavored e-cigarettes in major shift.
Well,
the FDA announced, this was in May 6th, 2026. The FDA announced the first authorization of fruit-flavored e-cigarettes after months of appeals to President Donald Trump from the vaping industry. The decision is certain to be opposed by health groups and parent organizations that have long pointed to the flavors as the driver behind underage vaping.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Also, they don't taste that good.
Yeah, you know how they used to advertise...
Well, maybe they... I mean, I don't know that I've ever, like, fully...
You know how they used to fucking...
I mean, they do smell good.
Market cigarettes to kids? What the fuck do you think fruit-flavored vapes are doing?
Like, okay, so we can't use Joe Camel anymore.
I'm not going to be able to find the ad, and I'm real mad about it.
But instead, we can make bubblegum-flavored vape pens. Is that what an e-cigarette is, a vape? Like, that's the same thing?
Yes.
Okay.
I think there's lots of things that fall under the umbrella of a vape pen.
Or like e-cigarettes.
But this...
I know there's e-cigarette, or the vape things are even worse if you modify them to put weed in them. They say that's where people were, or I thought they were saying, like, that's where, like, the lung infections and all that stuff comes from. Because, like, whatever you're doing to that capsule to refill it is where, like, the germs or whatever going in. I don't know.
I'm never going to find it. But...
Both. I could not.
I thought that was very funny. And it was just funny that, like the way it was all worded. Like, that exact wording of, like, he solved the crisis of cigarette smoking with flavored vapes. And, like, that's how they...
But, like, that didn't solve...
Put it out, and I'm like...
That didn't solve anything except for, unless I'm wrong, secondhand smoke. I don't... Because of vape, smoke doesn't smell bad in my mind. I assume that there's not... or minimal.
Because it's water vapor or whatever. That's the whole point of the word vape.
So it's better for us around you because you're not just blowing out chemicals.
I don't know.
But it's still as bad for you because it's tobacco and nicotine,
I don't smoke cigarettes. I never smoked cigarettes. I never smoked vape. I don't plan on ever smoking cigarettes. I don't plan on ever vaping. I hung out with people who smoked cigarettes. People I worked with that smoked cigarettes, but everyone on the street.
Like, I understand the issue with cigarettes. Like, because they've got tons and tons and tons of chemicals in them, and that's why, like, secondhand smoke is just as bad.
Well, because we grew up in a time where it was very anti-smoking.
Yeah.
And then it switched to anti-vaping, and that was my whole thing of like, well, people still smoke. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying you shouldn't put attention on the dangers of vaping, but hey, let's not just focus only on this and forget about
because now everyone's just circling back to cigarettes.
Yeah.
If that information was in fact correct.
I feel like it probably was. Because everything switched to how bad vaping is. So younger people were probably like, oh, well, cigarettes aren't bad for me. My grandpa smoked cigarettes. Whoever smoked
going back
cigarettes.
For like the nostalgia of just the... Lots of people...
I do think there's a weird element of that, too.
Lots of millennials make the joke
like a weird vintage thing of...
I don't know, but I think a cup of juice from a random guy's bathtub and a Camel, Marlboro, whatever, and an hour in the tanning bed could solve my problems.
A cup of juice from a random guy's
jungle
bathtub?
Juice. That's how they used to make it. You just fill the bathtub with juice and vodka. And I didn't ever do that. But that's... Yeah, gross. But, like, people are saying that, like, a cigarette and an hour in a tanning bed could solve my problems. Because, like, we don't do that anymore, but...
You and I had very different life experiences.
I didn't do that.
I'm not saying you did.
Mine came out of a Gatorade container.
I've never even heard of that.
That's what jungle juice is.
I've never heard of that.
I don't know how often people really did do it in their tub. I think it was usually in something else.
How they did it? Don't know. I've never heard of that.
You know what jungle juice is, right?
I know what Jamba Juice is. I know what that juice at the Animal Kingdom Lodge is.
Jungle juice is just like gallons and gallons and gallons of fruit punch.
Nope.
And then cheap booze.
Nope.
All just dumped in there.
Nope. Never heard of that.
And then you just... Ours was in a Gatorade container. One of those water things.
That's news to me.
Does it taste good? No. Not even a little bit.
Birthday Legos. These were not here before.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, another thing that is, well, it's not funny to me. I'm very curious about something. I forget what I was just watching where they made this joke again. And this isn't a whole thing of like, this is really offensive. We should stop doing this. It's more, when are we going to move past joking on a podcast about how many podcasts there are?
Probably never.
Like, I'm aware that when this show started, and it wasn't a joke, but I made the comment, like the self-aware comment of like, how original of me in whatever year we started doing this, 2019 or whatever the hell it was, that like, oh, we're starting a podcast in a world where everybody has a podcast and the market is so saturated for podcasts, but here we are. And like, it was a more successful podcast where they made the joke of like someone starting a podcast, and I'm like, this is a real like weird thing. This joke is old.
Right.
We've heard this joke over and over and over again. The horse is dead, and it's like disintegrated with how badly it's been beaten to death.
Yeah.
Also, you can't tell younger people, like the message is really more directed at people younger than us. But like, there was this whole thing for a while where like, oh, you can do whatever you want. You want to make a movie? Just take your iPhone or your whatever your cell phone is, and like you can film it and you can put it on YouTube, and like you can do everything yourself with your cell phone now. And like, people did that. And people started YouTube shows, and people started podcasts.
Yeah, and then it became like, oh, there's too many.
And then it became famous comedians doing podcasts, going like, oh man, everybody and their fucking mother has a podcast, and it's like,
well, were you on a sitcom in the 2000s? Do you now have a podcast where you're just rewatching
also,
it?
Yeah, you know what I'd rather have? I'd rather have this. I'd rather have original, just people shooting the shit, or people ranking stuff, people reviewing movies, what have you, reviewing video games, board games, whatever you can think to do on a podcast. I would rather just have that than have everybody and their mother who was on a TV show anywhere from the late 80s to the 2010s, who's now like, oh, I'm doing a rewatch podcast where we're going to rewatch every episode of the show I was on and bring in other people who were on the show to talk about this show.
And it's like... And, like, I guess maybe the audience of that show, like, really likes it.
Well, that was, again, one person did it. And then it was like, oh, they're successful with it, so now we can all do it. And I'm like, this is just sad. And
so there is one that I think is sort of different from the sitcom ones. So the one about the Playboy bunnies, Girls Next Door.
Yeah, I forget what that show was called, but yes.
With Holly Madison.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Hefner's like
Kendra.
girl. Yeah.
Kendra Wilkinson, so Holly Madison, and
they started a rewatch party, but the idea was to tell you the truth about what you saw on the show.
Yeah.
So they talked about like how they were expected to sleep with him and like what was true, what wasn't true, what was manufactured, what things you didn't see, like what they cut out, like all that. So I think that one, at least there's some controversy and when that show came out, like, I mean, I guess everyone kind of assumed that Hefner wasn't like the best guy, but I think it came out more recently that
even that show painted him in a positive light.
Well, right, and they're trying.
And he was just sort of like this just charming old man.
Well, because he
who made a living off of porn, essentially.
Right, adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they talk about like, because they did talk about before they filmed the show, like before the show started.
Yeah.
There was some like background, and they talked about like their grotto parties and like what the playmates were expected to do, and they talked about like getting the center folds or whatever.
He was always a man of controversy.
But it was always because like he was in the adult industry.
And but that's exactly it. He was in the adult industry and he was controversial for that, and it was a magazine and it was a whole thing. But then, like, whenever he was seen in media, he was just depicted as like this sort of charismatic, charming old man.
Right.
Who like there's a lot of young women at my house who are half naked, but that's because I run a magazine that just has pictures of half naked or fully naked women in it.
It was always painted as if, like, you know, these girls chose to stay here, and when they're working on the magazine, they're welcome to stay in this house and like take advantage of. Yeah,
and they're here.
A kitchen.
They can be here and party, and there's tons of celebrities that come over, and we do these big elaborate events.
Right.
And, like, it was the whole thing.
And they're like, some of them live in the big house, then there's the bunny house across the street. So that one I think is a little different because it's almost like a documentary about the show.
They all have their.
They're offering some more.
They all have their audience. They all have their in sort of thing to make you want to listen to it. But my thought is more like.
But it seems like there's so many of them.
I loved Game of Thrones up until the last 2 seasons. I wasn't listening to the podcast that was happening while the show was on the air. I loved Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm not confident there's not a podcast about that. Haven't listened to it. I'm not going to listen to the Office Ladies podcast. I'm not going to listen to...
And if I did, it would be like for a very specific episode.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It just... There are a lot of shows that I like. If you watch this show, if you know me personally, you know there are a lot of movies and TV shows and celebrities that I am really passionate about. But, like, there isn't a show on this planet that I would listen to a rewatch podcast about.
It just seems like it would get boring very quickly.
We talk a lot about, and, like, some people view it in a negative way. We talk a lot about how much I love Breaking Bad. Would I listen to, like, if all of a sudden Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul have nothing else to do and they started doing a Breaking Bad rewatch podcast, I'm not listening to it.
Yeah.
I'm just not doing it.
Unless, like, but again, like, how much, because, like...
Well, and the caveat being, to use Breaking Bad as an example, if you did a show
Yeah.
That was a rewatch show that I can watch the episode as well and remember what happened in the episode.
I would absolutely not watch that.
You're talking about. Then that'd be a little different. Because I'm looking for more of like AMC did it. What was it called? Pop-up video. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for more like that. We're like, just give me the tidbits and the factoids.
That they would have to do multiple episodes per episode of the rewatch. Like, they're not rewatching a full episode each episode. Because you're not watching 10 seasons of a rewatch.
What do you mean?
So, like, if the rewatch, like, they would just be showing clips from episodes, like, half a season.
Well, it's
like,
more that. Give me that.
It would be shorter. You know, it would run for 4 or 5 episodes, and they would do all 10 seasons in those episodes. But and they would go in order.
Yeah.
But it would just be, they would show you a clip, and they would interject in it. Like, that would be more interesting.
I think, too, the other issue is you have a lot of these podcasts. I don't remember if there's been one, I don't remember what it was, where they did the show and they got to the end, and instead of just ending it, they then started doing something else. And I'm like, no.
Right.
Your podcast was a rewatching. It wasn't The Office Ladies, but like for an example, like it's your podcast was rewatching The Office, and now you've gotten to the end of The Office, so now we're gonna do this. No, it's a different show now.
Right.
You can't just keep doing The Office Ladies podcast, and we're on to something else. Like that's not how this works.
Unless like you continued with your Office theme, like you just started interviewing the special guest, whatever.
I don't know.
You could keep it going in that way, but also, like, at some point it's overkill.
I'm looking for more. I'm not looking for, like, let's look back on all this old shit. If I'm looking for anything, I'm looking for something like Newcomers, where it is Lauren Lapkus and Nicole Byer watching series of movies or shows or whatever that they have never seen anything a part of. Like, their first season was Star Wars. And they watched all the movies, and they watched a handful of episodes of, like, the TV shows. The Clone Wars one, I think, was...
But then you're getting, like...
Like, that's what I want. I want people experiencing this kind of shit for the first time. And, like, hearing comedians
you can't see it again for
joke
the first
about
time
it.
Again, but...
Like, I don't know. But... people think there's too many podcasts. This one's, for the foreseeable future at least, not going anywhere. So, on that bombshell, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Follow us on social media at The Friends You Keep. You can email us if you want at thefriendsyoucankeep@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, rate, comment, review, whatever you do, wherever you're consuming this media. We will be back next week. We love you, and as always, thank you for being a friend.